So, picking up from where we left off, we are now going to look at the lavaa. Now, a lavaa is basically just a diagonal line above the character which makes an E sound, like the letter E. And it's basically just a diagonal line above the character. Now, I'll demonstrate by writing it using this word. We got a kaka with a lavaa on top to make a K, and then a lala, then a kanna, and we have the word kela. Now, the word kela means banana. Next, we have the word me, mela, which means fair, like a fair you would have in a park, in a fairground, during the summers commonly. And next we have the word tare, which basically means stars. Tare means the stars in the sky. And finally we have the word nanna, ni, nile, which describes something as being blue, the color blue. So one could say nile tare, which means blue stars. Nile tare. Next we have the concept of the Dulavaa, which is basically like it's very simple. It's two lines above a character, similar to the lavaa, except it's not one line, it's two lines. You can kind of remember the du to mean double lined above a character, and it basically means an AE sound, so like an sound, and the A and E are very closely packed together. So I'll demonstrate with these words here. So we have a papa with a Dulavaa, the two lines above it, and a rara, which makes the word par. Notice like the AE sound with the, so you got like a PAER, par sound, and this basically means foot. So par means foot. And looking at another word, we've got an ada with the Dulavaa, tatta, vava, then a kanna followed by rara, which says Etvar, which means Sunday. Next we have sassa, sar, which basically means a walk. So commonly after a meal, especially a Punjabi meal, a heavy one, you might go for a long walk to just walk it off. And just to make some room, I'll get rid of bad and that, and I'll write here this word. We got kaka, ka, ma, ra, a, camera. Now guess what that means? Correct, it means camera, directly imported from the English. Next we look at the Hora. Now a Hora is basically a little squiggly line above a character, so the one squiggly line above a character, which makes an O sound. It's quite simple, an O sound. So looking at this word here, I'm just going to rub out what I wrote here. Looking at this word, we have a kaga with the squiggly line, a rada, the retroflex R, rada, and then a kanna. We have Cora. So a Cora is basically a horse, the one you ride into battle, so you'd ride on a Cora. Next we have Moti. Oh, I'll write it down and then say it. A mama, the squiggly line, a tatta, and then a vihari. So we have Moti, which means pearl. Just got a memory block here for a second. That's definitely a Bihari. Yep. So we have Mama, a Hora, a Tatta, followed by a Bihari to mean Moti, which is a pearl. Next we have a Kaka, a Hora, a Tatta, followed by a Kanna, which gives us Khota, which means donkey. So if you have any Punjabi friends and you want to have a joke with them or insult them, call them a Khota, and you just call them a donkey. Next we have a, let me make some room, let me rub out horse. And we have a Mama with a Hora, and then a Rara, which gives us the word more. Now, more basically means peacock, the animal, peacock. Next here we have a Canora, and a Canora is similar in writing to a Hora, except instead of just a squiggly line, we sort of form a little cap at the end, a sort of, a cap which goes in the direction towards of the character. You could think of it like a C, the letter C being turned to its side to make a little cap at the end of the squiggly line to give a Canora. I'll write it one more time. So beginning of your squiggly line with a little cap at the end, and it basically makes an A-U-O sound, an O sound. So using these words I will explain. I'll just rub out what we have here. So we have a Papa with a Canora, and then a Rada, followed by a Bihari, to give us the word Paudi. Paudi. A Paudi is basically a ladder. So if you want to go up a ladder, you go up a Paudi in Punjabi. Next we have a Kakka with a Kanora, a Lalla, followed by a Bihari, giving us the word Kauli. Kauli, which means bowl. So you eat from a kauli. Well, it generally means a bowl. And next we have a Haha with a Tatta with the Canora on top, then a Rada, and then a Kanna, which gives us Hatala. Hatala. And a Hatala is basically a hammer. And finally, I'll just get rid of ladder, of body, and make room for this word, which is a Mama with a Canora, and then a Sassa, and then a Mama, which gives us the word Mausam. Mausam, which means weather. Let me have another go at writing that. Simply just like a crescent on top of a character, and it basically doubles the sound which comes after it. So an Adhikk doubles the sound of the character which comes after it. So I'll use these examples here. We have a Kakka with the line, and an Adhikk, a Ta, and then a Kanna. So Kutta. So notice how the Tatta is being emphasized with like a sort of pause. So if I was to put this into Latin characters, we'd have a KU and a double T. Effectively, an Adhikk is like similar to when we write a double of one letter in an English word. So kutta. So we have here kutta, the Adhikk doubling the tatta. and a kutta is basically a dog. So it's not kutta, but kutta. We double the tatta because just before it is an adhikk. So using the same principle, I'll explain the following words. We have a dadda with the line underneath, a adhikk, and then a dadda, giving us the word dud, which basically means milk. So dud. Notice how the dadda is being doubled. And next we have, let me see if I need a bit more room. I might get rid of kutta. I might get rid of it all, to be honest. Just get rid of it all. Next we have a babba with a sihari, an adhikk, a lalla, and then a bihari. So we have billi, the lalla being doubled by the adhikk just before it. We have billi, which means cat. And finally we have a nanna, an adhikk, and then a kakka, which gives us the word nak, the kakka being doubled by the adhikk. Nak, which means nose. Now for this part we have to pay particular attention, as both a tippee and a bindi provide a nasalization effect to the character that it influences. So it provides a sort of nasalization, i.e. it can be like, you can call it an N sound if you will. So in this case we have cha-cha followed by a tippee, which is like a inverted C without the tail, like we looked at Canora, except it doesn't have the initial tail, and the line underneath, and a jajja, we have chunj, a chunj, which basically means beak. Let me double check that. A chunj is a beak, like the ones on a bird. And next we have, I might rub it out this off. And next we have sassa with a sihari, a tippee, and a gagga. Singh. Don't mix it up with the surname, or the middle name that most Sikh men have, or all Sikh men have. This spelling of the word Singh means horn. The Singh is a horn on an animal, like I don't know, deer or a rhino. The Singh is a horn. However, if you're thinking of the middle name in a Sikh man's full name, that's the one with an aspirated G sound. So we have a sihari, sassa, tippee, and a kagga. So that is the Singh in a Sikh man's middle name, and this is Singh for horn, a horn on an animal. Right, and now we move over to the bindi, which is just a dot which has the same effect as a tippee. So in this case we have a nanna, a bihari, a bindi, not tippee, and a dadda, neend, which means sleep. And then here we have a kakka with the Dulavaa, the two lines, a bindi, a cha-cha, and then a bihari, kanchi, which means scissors. Scissors used to cut. I don't know if I spelled that correctly in English. Perhaps I might need to revise over some English spelling. Maybe double check the word. Yep, I think hold on. Yeah, it was a double S in the middle. Scissors. So we have kanchi. Notice the nasalization, kanchi, which means scissors. Neend, neend, the nasalization there to mean sleep. And then in this case, sing, sing to mean horn. Now, when do we know when to use a tippee or a bindi? Well, the answer is generally if the character, let's have a hypothetical character here. So this can be anything that we've looked at in all our lessons. If we have anything underneath it, so it could be a what are these called again? Hang on. If we have a onker or a dolenker or a sihari, then we'd commonly use a tippee. So if there's anything below the character or to the left of the character, or if the character is on its own, we'd commonly use a tippee. I repeat that just so you understand. And remember, if we have our hypothetical character, if it's on its own, has any marking to the left, i.e. a sihari, or anything underneath, onkur or dolenker, we put a tippee to nasalize it. In contrast, when we have a bindi, when we use a bindi, the character, again the hypothetical character, which I shall draw a little bit to the left, the hypothetical character, we have to have something on its right or on top of it. Something on its right or on top of it. So I mean like a Hora or a Canora or a Lavaa or Dulavaa all go on top of the character. And if you want to nasalize the character which has one of these on top of it, we have to use a bindi each time. And anything on the right of the character, i.e. a bihari or a kanna, we have to use a bindi. So here these examples, like we have a nanna, I'll just circle it for you. We have a nanna with a bihari, so a bindi comes after it. And here we have a kakka with a dulavaa, we have a bindi after it, not a tippee, because a tippee is used when there's something to the left of the character or underneath the character. To the left of the character or underneath the character. Or if the character is on its own, we use a tippee. If there's something on the right of the character or on top of the character, we use a bindi. So it is crucial to remember this. After you read some sentences, write some words, you'll get the idea and it'll become automatic to just know when to put your tippees and your bindis to nasalize a character. But just to quickly go over again and make sure we got this 100% understood, if we have a hypothetical character, if it's on its own, anything to the left or anything underneath, we use a tippee. If we have anything to the right, be it a kanna or a bihari, and anything on top, be it the lavaa or a lavaa on its own, this thing, or be it a Hora or a Canora, we have to use a bindi.